20 years ago, I was trafficked and managed to escape. I never told anyone about it. I moved on with my life as best I could and I tried to forget my past. I went back to school, earned a couple of degrees, got married, and had a kid. My life has been very quiet and normal for almost 2 decades. No one in my life, not even my husband, knew about my past. And then one day, out of nowhere, I got a call from a sex crimes detective. He knew about my past and he knew that I had been trafficked. It's taken 2 years, but we are so close to getting him. I'm f***ing fired up and ready. Wish me luck. Edit. You guys are the best. Thank you so much for your kind words. I don't really have anyone with whom I share this stuff, save for my therapist. It is such a gift to feel so supported. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Edit 2. My husband knows the gist of it. I told him after I reported it. We had to get a crazy alarm system for our property, which caused him to start asking questions. He isn't upset that I didn't tell him. He's not thrilled that I'm moving forward with this, but I can't really blame him. It's scary stuff. Edit 3. Some of you have asked for the backstory. I don't mind sharing it here. Telling strangers is easier than telling people with whom I'm close. I don't really have many friends, and having you internet friends to share this with feels like a gift. Most of my days are spent on and off crying. While my initial post has a positive tone, to be honest, I'm generally an anxious, sad, and scared mess. I'm not this brave, fearless woman. I mourn my childhood quite often. I miss not having to worry about such big things. Being an adult is f***ing hard. I try to hide my sadness. I don't want to upset my husband or cause him to worry. He's already a ball of anxiety. I take a lot of bathroom breaks so that my kid doesn't see me constantly cry. I hate it and wish I wasn't me. I'm so envious of people who have normal lives. What I wouldn't give for that. But here it is. My apologies for being so long-winded and a little bit jumbled with my story. Brevity is not my strong point, and I have a hard time telling my story in a linear fashion. I grew up with supportive, loving, and financially successful parents. They are amazing and I don't blame them one bit for what happened. I was a sneaky teenager and they did everything that they could do to protect me. I went to parties, I smoked pot, and I snuck out of my bedroom to go to said parties. I would wait until my parents fell asleep, sneak out around 1 a.m., and then I would sneak right back in around 5, maybe sleep for an hour or 2, and then go to school. I flew under the radar for almost 2 years with my good grades and people-pleasing attitude. I fell asleep in class, but I always stayed on top of my homework. I was a straight A student until I dropped out of high school, when I ran away with my trafficker. I met trafficker at a high school party. I'll call him John, not his real name, of course. John was an attractive dude in his 20s. He had a job, he had graduated college with honors, and he showed a strong interest in me. He was really smart, which impressed me. I thought we were just a stupid case of we love each other, and he just happens to be an adult and I just happen to be a minor. I know that sounds stupid. I now know that I just happened to be his preferential age and that he was a pedophile. John and I started out like a normal relationship. We went to parties, raves, and beach excursions on the weekends. We also hung out almost every day after school. My parents found out about his age and got a restraining order against him. Once they found out that we were having sex, I continued to see him when I snuck out at night. I lied about hanging out with friends on the weekend, so that I could spend time with him and not get in trouble. When we first started seeing each other, I was only into smoking pot. Over time, John introduced me to more substances until I was hooked. I think that was his plan all along. He started to abuse me in little ways. One time he got mad at me and spit in my face. Another time he slapped me, slapping, hitting, and spit at me became the norm. I didn't feel like I could tell anyone because as much as I hated how he treated me at times, I felt very dependent on him. I tried to leave him many times. One time he killed an animal in front of me to force me to comply. He knew how much I loved animals. John decided that he was tired of working. At the time, Craigslist had a section in which sex workers could post and find clients. He posted my picture with a list of prices. He convinced me that it would be fun and that we were exploring our sexuality. I was totally brainwashed at this point, so I believed him. One day, an escort agency reached out to him. He decided that we, actually me, were going to work with an escort agency who could vet the men. I was told that all I had to do was give massages. We went to the motel that they told us to go to, and I went to a room that had a bunch of girls in it. It looked like a room where we were supposed to get ready. There were a handful of teenagers putting on lingerie and makeup. And then we were all given our room assignments for the men who made appointments with us. It was terrible, disgusting, and nightmarish. I had to f multiple old men. 3 weeks later, I had a nervous breakdown and told him I couldn't do it anymore. I wanted to break up with him as well. That night, he tried to kill me. The police arrested him for contributing to the delinquency of a minor, and that was it. My parents sent me to another state to get away from him, but I was super depressed. I called him and he came and got me. He convinced me that my parents were against my happiness, and that he could take care of me. He apologized for making me fuck strange men and said that it would never happen again. I ran away with him and he immediately took my cell phone, took out the battery, and told me that we couldn't call or talk to anyone. Apparently the FBI was looking for us at that point, as we had crossed state lines. He held me in an abandoned house for 3 weeks and wouldn't let me leave. I had a moment in which he wasn't around and I ran. I went to a homeless shelter and they connected me with my parents. My parents sent me to the other coast of the US and helped me start over. I got my GED, adopted a few cats, and went on to get my bachelor's and master's degrees. I met an amazing man in grad school, and we eventually got married and had a kid. Today we live with our little zoo of rescue animals and have a quiet and calm existence. 2 years ago, a detective reached out to me. I reluctantly decided to help him catch John after I found out that John had done similar things to girls after I was out of the picture. I gave the detective my high school journals, which documented this horror show, and agreed to work with him. It's been a tumultuous 2 years. I broke the news to my husband and he was not happy. He's scared for our family's safety. I can't really blame him. It's been 2 years and we are just finally setting up a sting to get him. I have no idea what is going to happen, but I'm so ready for this all to be over with. I promise to update after we get him, if we do. Thank you all for your kindness and support. I can't really talk to any friends about this, or even my husband, so you have no idea how much your words mean to me. I will definitely be reading these comments for months to come. Thank you, again. And if John gets away, you guys will be the first to know, because I will make sure that everyone knows him for the monster that he is. I have my high school journals and therapist to support my accusations, and if he doesn't go to jail, I'd be fine with settling on having him ostracized from all of society.